I think I'm going to go ahead and make this video publicly available instead of just for my Fortnite friends. This video serves the purpose of showing how I'm progressing in builds, which I only started playing a few months ago. It unfortunately does not show off my building skills, as I really didn't build much in this particular match. But that's also kind of accurate. I don't do a lot of building in Battle Royale. Something I'm sure a lot of people are going to realize is that there's no reticle on my screen. The reason simply is that I turn it off. I believe it helps me in my close range battles, particularly with a shotgun. Although it does become a little bit of an issue at medium range. Like, anything that is 15 meters or farther away, if you're using like a pistol or an AR that doesn't have a scope, having your reticle turned off actually does make it a little bit more difficult. But when people are right up in your face and you're using a shotgun, yeah, I say turning off reticle really helps with that. And when aiming at somebody very, very far away, typically you're going to shoot when you have a scope, and a scope is going to replace the reticle even when your reticle is turned off. So here I see some footsteps, and I tried building stairs. That didn't quite go exactly how I wanted, but it worked. I put up a wall, and here's where I messed up. I should have done a peanut butter edit right there. And that is why I love the SMG and builds. Now, it can be argued that in a real lobby where people were, skilled, because I think that was a bot anyhow, but in a real lobby where people are skilled, you can't just shoot out their wall like that super easy. Okay, but in my lobbies you can. So that's why I love the SMG. So I see some footsteps on my audio-visual, and I'm like, where is he? And then he builds, and I'm like, okay, so you're right there. And where did he go? Oh, okay, he's running. I see him. Now you might be wondering, why did I build a wall immediately after I started hitting him? Because I was shooting and missing, and then when I got 2 hits on him, and I just built a wall. Why did I build a wall? Well, the answer is, he turned around really weird, and I thought he was going to snipe me, but it turns out he was just going to place a wall. But I thought for sure a snipe was coming my way, and I was like, nope. But because I still don't know whether or not this guy has a sniper, I decided I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to have a shootout, so I decided to shockwave. However, I smacked my foot up against the roof of someone else's build, and it kind of knocked me off my trajectory. And I go ahead and win the fight with a combination of spraying out his builds and then spamming him with a frenzy auto shotgun. And I think that gives you an idea of the kind of people that are in my lobbies, like their build capacity. They build a little bit, but they don't build really elaborate most of the time. So yeah, if you just spray things with an SMG, you can kind of negate their builds. Like half the time. The other half the time, you end up with someone who actually can start building pretty good, and then I'm screwed, and I gotta think, okay, well, how do I counter this? So I see the alarm is going off, so the bunker is opening, and I decide to rush up to the bunker. And I'm looking around and I'm thinking, why is there a cone placed here? There can't be someone hiding in here. Like, no one's that stupid, are they? Oh my god, they really are. There really was someone in there. 1 in a million shot there was someone actually in there. I thought no one would be dumb enough to actually build a cone and then just hunker down inside their cone and hope that no one checks. Like, nobody would be that stupid, but someone was. So here I am looting when I come across a lightning bolt. And I thought, well, maybe I should go ahead and pick up the lightning bolt. And then I remember something that Maddie said just the other day.
Oh, you know what the lightning bolts are for? I was gonna say, chat, don't get mad. Don't get mad. The lightning bolts are for pussies. Sorry, don't get mad.
So I put down the lightning bolt. Now I've got Maddie in my head. Now, one of the attachments that I put on when I was down there at the mod bench was I put a silencer on my Frenzy Auto shotgun. It's the only shotgun you can put a silencer on. And what I love about doing that is when you start shooting somebody with a highly spammable shotgun like that, and it's making virtually no sound, it confuses them. It really throws them for a loop. Anyhow, so I'm just driving down the road in my beautiful, beautiful pink car, thinking, wouldn't it be awesome if I had Tex Flamingo to drive this beautiful pink car? Anyhow, so I'm driving around in my beautiful pink car, and some jackass just starts shooting at me. So I jump out, and I hit him with that silenced shotgun. You can tell, this dude was confused as hell. So, a moment later, I realize that there's some of that green water. Well, I want those skulls that let me teleportate around, so I decide I'm going to go ahead and just jump down there in the water. And wouldn't you know it, I took fall damage. I blame this on Maddie. She's in my head. Ever since she told me to drop the lightning bolt, she's in my head, so now I take fall damage. So, it's just me and 2 other people. I hear someone get a kill, so I decide I'm going to go third party this. Trapped myself under the stairs like an idiot. Again, why start a build off where both of us are racing to the top of the world to creating a sky base when I can just shoot out their foundation with an SMG? The moment I seen that glint, I reflexively put up a wall. I just noped out of that one. I don't know if that's an actual sniper or if it just has that 4x scope. Either way, I should have been thinking about the possibility of being sniped even before I seen the glint. I should not have just been standing there. Okay, let me explain what's going on here, because this is not great playing on my part. But he's staring at me with a 4x scope, possibly a sniper. And the fact that he's not spamming a bunch of shots at me tells me, yeah, that is definitely a sniper. So what I'm doing is I'm hip firing, and using the fact that when you hip fire, you can move side to side a lot faster than when you're scoping or ADSing. So here I'm hip firing and wiggling back and forth, trying to make myself very difficult for him to snipe. Meanwhile, I'm hoping my endless barrage of bullets will start hitting him and spook him, give him a, like when you get hit by a bullet, how it shakes your view, especially if you've got like he does, a 4x scope. When you get hit, the screen shakes really big. So I'm hoping I'm just going to land 1 or 2 little shots here and really spook him. He's out in the open with no cover. I'm out in the open with no cover. This is the equivalent of a long distance 50-50. It can be argued he's got the advantage because he's got a one-shot weapon. Of course, I'm wiggling back and forth, and like I said, if I hit him and it shakes the camera, that's going to make his shot on me really, really difficult. So I'm just jiggling side to side here. Now, I thought about what else could I do. I could build a ramp, but in order to shoot him, I have to peek. And the moment I peek, that's it. Headshot snipe. So I feel like in the heat of the moment, just doing this side-to-side jiggling is probably the better move. I could box up, but if you notice, the storm is right on my tail. If I box up, I have to get out of there, and he knows I have to get out of there. So that's going to give him time to build, you know, like several stories up and have a peak advantage from a ramp. I know he's going to have that, and waiting for me to leave my box because I have to, because the storm's going to hit me before it hits him. So all things considered, yeah, jiggling side to side and rapid firing like this was all I could really think of. And even looking back on it, I'm not entirely sure how much I could do. Basically, right now, my goal is to simply block his view of me so that he can't pull off a snipe. And here I am building a house, and it's on uneven ground, so the build does not go the way I want it to go. I slammed into a tree, and that kind of ruined my plans. The moment I hit the wings, I knew I was going to get sniped, and luckily he missed. Now, the whole time this is going on, I know there's someone behind me, but I realized I'm kind of sandwiched here. So I'm just going to focus on the guy I was fighting a moment ago, because he at least knows where I'm at. Whereas the other guy might not entirely know where I'm at, he might not try to peek. All I know is I'm kind of sandwiched, and I'm just going to focus my attention on one person. That was probably a mistake, but that's what I did. Look at the weird perspective. Look how far away I am from the camera. My gun done glitched, and I can't shoot with my gun. All I get is a weird distance from the camera. But I can't see through my scope, and I also can't just hip fire either. It's a weird glitch. So I put down the gun, and I pick it back up. And right here, my buildings aren't building right, so I've got that working against me. I accidentally switched to my gun instead of my wings, that's why I fired. I still got the win, and I can't help but think part of why I got the win was the silencer on my Frenzy Auto. I tell you, when you start hitting people with that gun and they're not really hearing it, they don't really understand what's happening to them and they panic. So I was able to use that ledge as cover, and I did move a little side to side just to make it a little bit harder for him to hit. Like he might think I'm trying to come up onto the bank, and no, I dip right back down behind the rock, and I just did a side to side thing and spam my shotgun. But I'm telling you, without that silencer, I think he would have behave differently. And again, that's why I like putting the silencer on the auto frenzy. It really screws with your opponent. So yeah, I got the win, but my God, that was a scuffed game. That whole game just went weird.